If it's in Hampton Roads, it's on the Hampton Roads Show.
Welcome to the Hampton Roads Show. Our live audience today is from the second annual Santa's Elves Extravaganza. A little later in the show, we'll get the scoop on the holiday craft fair and how you can get your hands on a one-of-a-kind, locally made work of art just in time for the holidays.
And for this week's I Am Hampton Roads, we'll meet Gail Kearns, a 911 dispatcher who spent more than 3 decades dealing with emergencies of all kinds.
And you know what? If you couldn't put food on the table for your family, you would consider that an emergency. I'm out here at the Ted Constant Convocation Center at Old Dominion University with the Food Bank of Southeastern Virginia. We're working today to end hunger in Hampton Roads. We'll tell you how you can be part of this very special day and something very special tonight coming up.
Good morning, Hampton Roads. It is Thursday. We'll catch up with Carrie in just a few minutes, but we're here to remind you the countdown is 17 days until Christmas. It is quickly creeping up on us, and as you can tell here, we're in a festive mood in our studio.
That's
and we
right, of
have to
course.
thank our friends from Christmas
Busch
Town and Busch
Gardens.
Gardens. What a great job they did, and every single day we'll have to give them a big shout out because it looks so lovely in here.
I mean, they just literally came in and transformed our set. They did this for Halloween as well. You know, for their Hallow screen, they came and made it really spooky, but now it's really festive and decorative and just put you in the spirit to give back and all that good stuff. And like Chris said, we're going to talk to Carrie in just a little bit, but that kind of segues into one of our hot topics this morning. The first one, we're going to be out at the Ted Constant Center all day until 8 o'clock, so make sure you come out, say hi, give your non-perishable food items, because we are, a lot of time, you know, a lot of people think about presents, and it is a happy time, but there are also a lot of people who go without, and a lot of charities who are calling on folks, you know, for you to get out. You know, the Salvation Army, of course, the Kettle Campaign, you know, Red Cross, just tons of charities out there. So we just want to know and put the question out there, what is your favorite charity? It doesn't even have to be around this time of the holidays, just all year round. These charities are asking for donations or even your time. If you can't necessarily give out of the pocket, you can always go in and just kind of help out. I give a lot to the Salvation Army. It makes no sense to go through your closet and sort out clothes or even your cabinets when you're sorting out foods and not be able to give it back to some charity out there.
There are so many different ways you can give. You can, you know, American Red Cross, you can give your blood.
Yeah.
You can go to your pantry, give some food. How about stroke a check for your favorite charity? Is it Operation Smile? Is it the Boys and Girls Club? There's so many different ways you can give. At this time of year, it's important to think of others while you're giving, not just your immediate family, but other people who might need it. And there's so many ways you can do it.
There is. I know I volunteer a lot with the YWCA. We even have little blood drives here at the Red Cross. They have their like RV set up outside, and you can go down and give blood.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
Are you?
Do you give blood?
I have once. I'm a little
squeamish?
I'm a little scared, a little squeamish, but you know, there's other ways that I can give back. Like I said, I'll, you know, donate the clothes to the Salvation Army or volunteer time, if that. I also like working with youth too, so I like to work a lot with kids and youth and things like that. But
well, every time the blood drive comes, I step right up.
You're rolling the sleeve
I
up.
have no problem giving blood. I have a very attractive blood. It's red, and people like it, so I'm going to give it every time.
You like it.
And it's really that easy. I mean, it's that simple. Somebody needs it. It could save a life, and it's that easy as giving. So we want to know what you think.
Send us your comments.
Who do you give to this time of year? Who are you thinking about? Who is your extended family out there that you don't know that you could make a big difference for?
Yes.
And we were talking about the blood drive, and I know that makes people kind of squeamish. And you know, when we sit around and we think of some topics this time of day, we we could go in many different directions. We can make it political. We can make it topical. But we want to make it fun too. How about this? Fear Factor is coming back after a 5-year hiatus.
Wow, 5 years?
5 years ago was when it was last on. That was about when reality TV really started to hit TV. And so we want to ask you, what is your deal breaker? What do you fear the most? Obviously, throwing yourself from a helicopter and trying to land on a bullseye might be a deal breaker, but most people, when it comes to Fear Factor, would say, I am not going to eat anything that is disgusting and gross.
See, like, what, she's standing there and there's just bees swarming her. Who would do that? I can't do anything with the bugs. I couldn't lay in the bugs, the spiders, the snakes, you know, where they have the big container and you have to lay in like maggots and just slugs and just and eating
bother
the
me.
stuff.
That doesn't bother me right
You
there.
could do that? You could just have bees swarming you?
Yeah, I've got no problem with that, but when you have to put those in your mouth or something like that, when you have to eat a bug that's moving, I'm not a big fan of heights.
Okay, so you clearly couldn't do this one.
No, I think I could do it. I'm just not a big fan of it.
Well, you know when there's money at stake, A lot of
do just
things
about
change.
anything.
A lot of things change. If you never know, they could say, you know, you're up for $2 million. I don't know what it's like $1 million or whatever it is, and it keeps going up. $50,000.
That's right.
That I may lay in a bucket of maggots or something. I don't know.
It looks tempting and
It
looks
does look
easy,
tempting,
but when
but-
they put you in a helicopter and they say, okay, jump and hit that bullseye, trust me, it's going
But
to
just
hurt.
imagine all the like releases that you have to sign, like probably just saying if something were to happen, and I'm sure they do, you know, they have the safety precautions, and the
Stunts go
stunts
wrong.
and all
yeah,
that.
they say safety is #1, but you know things do go wrong and people do get hurt.
And why do people go for it? It's crazy. People love watching people put themselves in danger and at risk and eating weird things and laying in weird things and jumping off of roofs
Yeah,
and
eating
buildings.
the bugs, I'm not a big fan.
So
of
you
that.
couldn't do the bugs either?
I'm not. Well,
you
no,
lay
I
in
could
it
do
or
any
you would
bugs.
eat it?
I could lay with them.
You
I don't
wouldn't
have a
eat
problem
it.
with that. But eating something like that is just the things they make them eat is just
Like
disgusting.
a roach? You wouldn't eat a roach?
Eat a roach?
Yeah.
No, I don't think
A
so.
cricket? A maggot?
A maggot?
Yeah.
Some bile. All that
Ooh.
gross stuff. They make these cocktails that are just disgusting.
They like blend it up,
Yeah,
and then
they
you have
blend
to
it
drink
up and they ask you to eat it. If you really want to be the Fear Factor, you got to win it. And we're talking about this because it is coming back to NBC, and later on in the show, we are going to talk to Joe Rogan, the host of the show, and that's kind of cool.
And for
because that
him,
guy's
he's
been around
just
for a while.
standing back, kind of watching this happen.
And
It must be
he's a
exciting
comedian,
for him.
so it's always kind of neat to get his
He's-
take on things.
And if you ever watch Seeing the Show, he's kind of egging it on. He's kind of like a cheerleader. He's like, come on, you can do it, you can do it. So, I don't know, though. I don't think I could lay in bugs. But I don't know, $50,000 at stake, who knows?
Who knows?
But that doesn't mean set me up now and then somebody bring out a plate of maggots. That's something our executive producer would
Well,
do.
we saw how you reacted to
And
some
have me.
spiders falling out of the sky, so.
I'm a little scaredy cat.
Little scaredy cat. All right. Let us know your thoughts. We want you to join in the conversation. Who would you give to this time of year, and what scares you? Are you a Fear Factor contestant? We want to know. Join the conversation on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at HR_show.
Jeremy Wheeler. Jeremy.
Yes.
So, what
What-
is the deal breaker for you if you were on Fear Factor?
Well, my biggest fear right now is that our producer's thinking up all these wonderful things that we're going to be doing here in the next couple of months to
Hampton
promote the
Road
show.
Show, Fear Factor.
We'll be out there on the tables, grabbing stuff. And
Don't give them any
Yeah,
ideas,
please
Jared.
don't.
Yeah,
Look at
come
her.
on.
She is
Susan's
smiling.
back there.
Writing down already.
Stephanie Cook's already got
That's
some
my
ideas.
biggest
Yeah.
fear is actually doing some of that stuff. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes.
Let's see what Jeremy will eat.
I don't know.
Great segment.
Back,
Oh, yeah.
back in my
that is
There it
great.
was.
yeah, gee, thanks.
Sorry, buddy.
No,
It's all my
back
fault.
in the day, maybe, but
Tuesdays.
now,
Back in the
I'm not
day.
really into it.
Uh-huh.
Back in the day,
you
it
ever
was
play
just eat the worm, right?
What's grosser than gross? You ever play that game?
No, I haven't. No.
See, yeah, lots of people you probably did when you were a kid, but you know what I'm talking about out there. But now, it's forget it. No, not
That's
happening.
grosser than gross.
So anyway, yeah, you try to top each other by talk. Well, anyway, let's take. I don't want to gross people out, so let's take a look at what we have
morning.
for today. Some nice weather today, except that we went from 76 to 50. And so it's going to be a big drop in temps. Lots of sunshine. Tomorrow, 54, a little warm up, but then the weekend comes along, and we'll see highs in the mid to upper 40s, lows in the 20s and 30s, and it's just going to be back to reality, especially this weekend. But at least, I'm going to be putting up some decorations this weekend. It'll at least feel like
Do you have those
holidays,
leaves
so.
up yet?
I got a lot of them raked up. I got a lot
All
of them
right,
taken
finish
care of
that
the last
first,
couple of
bud.
days. Yeah. All right, so here's the pop quiz for the day. 300, in quotation marks, 300, higher learning, established in 1935, and a local city in the name. So good luck with that. Think about higher learning kind of narrows the field a little bit for you. HamptonRoadshow.com, submit your answer.
Well, hey, check it out. If you know the answer, today's winner will receive a $25 gift card for Pizza Hut. So
Good prize.
you can always go to the website to see past winners and if you were a winner for today.
Right.
Cool.
All right, who do you call when there's an emergency? And more importantly, who is going to answer that call? Still ahead on the Hampton Road Show, meet a 911 dispatcher who is recognized for her dedication and service in this morning's I Am Hampton Roads. But first, falling temperatures mean rising heating costs. Coming up, our friends from Dr. Energy Saver in Virginia are here to share some tips from the pros on how to stay warm and cozy this winter without spending a fortune.
season for homemade holiday treats, and if you're looking for an extra special dessert that will get that wow factor from your family and friends, look no further than the December issue of Southern Living, jam-packed with delicious award-winning recipe ideas along with plenty of great baking tips from the Southern Living Test Kitchen. Joining us now from New York City with more is Southern Living Editor-at-Large Christy Jordan. Christy, good morning and welcome to the Hampton Roadshow.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
So tell me about this month's edition and the theme, White Hot Christmas. Explain that.
This is a very special edition. In Christmas, we have a 16-year-old tradition now of featuring a white cake on the cover. But this year, we made it extra special because we opened it up and held our first ever white cake contest. And the great thing is, with all these great recipes I'm going to show you today, you do not have to rely on snow in order to have a white Christmas.
Talk about some of those recipes that you do have in front of you. They look yummy.
Yes. For our contest, we received over 800 entries. And the winner, it was very hard to pare them down, ended up being Lynn Brown's Chocolate Gingerbread Toffee Cake. This is a layer cake. It's a creative use of classic holiday flavors, so it's going to be an instant classic in your family. Chocolate layers infused with gingerbread flavoring, a filling of homemade ganache, and Lynn's grandmother's toffee recipe. Then she iced it with ginger-infused homemade whipped cream. But you know, a lot of people are intimidated by layer cakes, which is great for my next recipe. Cupcakes are still all the rage, and it's a clever and fuss-free way to serve cake at your party, and I like to get my kids involved. For these, I bought these little cupcake wrappers at a local craft store, and my kids coated them with glue and glitter, and it added instant elegance to our cupcakes. And you know, this is a Southern classic recipe. It is not Christmas unless you have a red velvet cake. But it's taken the nation by storm. Everybody's heard of red velvet cake now, so I'm going to give you a heads up and let you know what the next great Southern export is going to be, and that is our pecan divinity. Divinity is basically a fluffy white fudge, and it uses simple ingredients you have on hand, and to garnish you just press a pecan half into it. And that's, oh, it's so delicious. You've got to try that. And, you know, we've all got the people on our list. We're trying to think what to get for them. What should we get? Who doesn't love home-baked goods? So we've come up with a fun way to package these little snowball cookies. We just used some little glittery Chinese takeout boxes that we bought for about $1 each. And that makes a great hostess gift, teacher, co-worker. But then when it really comes down to it, I know we all kind of want to wow our guests at the party. We want that one wow piece. So here we come to the rescue. We have the instructions in this issue on how to make this peppermint cake platter. It just takes a couple minutes in the oven and pennies worth of peppermints, and you can showcase any holiday cake.
Wow,
to perfection.
That is very interesting. I've never seen anything like that. Hey, tell us about what should we know about Southern holiday hospitality?
You know, it's all about opening your heart, opening your home, and honoring your traditions together. Inviting people in. We do like to cook our traditional foods, you know, but it's also fun to let other people get involved in the process as well. Sometimes I let friends who are from other parts of the country, I invite them, would you please bring a dish that you grew up on at the holidays? And then we'll share the recipes with each other as a party as we enjoy it all. It's all about just embracing each other, heart and home.
And probably, too, getting the kids involved is a big key to it as well.
Yes, that's huge. I love to have my kids in the kitchen. You know, some of my earliest memories are decorating Christmas cookies that my mother made. So I always have to recreate that for my family as well.
All right, Christy, well, we thank you so much for sharing your tips and ideas. Southern Living's December holiday issue is out now. You can pick up a copy for more recipes, tips, gift ideas. Christy, thanks for talking with us, and again, happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays.
All right, we've been spoiled by spring-like weather, but as Jeremy said a little earlier, the cold is on its way, and when the temperatures start dropping, energy costs start rising as furnishers kick into non-stop mode. So we brought in the doctor, Kevin Kramer, certified building analyst with Dr. Energy Saver VA, to show us what we can do to keep those energy costs under control. And Kevin, earlier we talked fear factor, we talked things that scare you. Things that scare me are bills, and the bills this time of year from energy are going up.
Absolutely. You know, and it got cold last night.
Yeah,
I woke up this
just
morning,
like that.
I was freezing, you know, but I fell asleep outside, so that's different. But when your bills start coming in this time of the year, your furnace is running and running and running, and sometimes it's either not shutting off, or it shuts off for a minute and then it starts again right away. So most customers are calling. That's their biggest complaint this time of the year.
Okay, Dr. Energy Saver VA. There's a lot of ways that you can save people money just by walking in the home and giving them a diagnostic saying, hey, this is what's wrong. Where are the biggest common problems?
Well, with that, a lot of people will call a heating and air company. And what they're going to do is they're going to spend $100 to have some kid come out to tell them the furnace is working correctly. It's not the furnace. That's a symptom. Generally, it's the house. And one thing we look at, first thing we look at is the system sized correctly for the house?
Right.
Okay, it's very important. We do a thing called a load calculation on the home to see if it's sized correctly. That takes into account the different building materials that are involved, the type of glass you have, which direction your house faces, how many people occupy that. You got kids. You got like a dozen kids, right?
At least 6 or 7.
They add 200 BTUs a person or so to the house. Even the type of light bulbs can change what size furnace you need. So we'll do a scientific calculation to see exactly what size your furnace should be, and then if it need to be, we can replace it with a high efficient unit as well.
Not only that, but there are lots of places that you're losing heat and energy, seeping out, leaks. You go in and find those too.
Yeah, in fact, probably the number one missed problem in a home today is probably leaky ductwork. If you had a leak in your plumbing system in your house, a water leak, you'd get that fixed, right? And yet so many people ignore the fact that their ductwork is leaking pretty severely. It can cause just as much damage as a water leak and as much energy loss. So that's something we can test for through a series of diagnostic tools, find out if it's leaking, then we can fix it.
Okay, you start from the basement to the attic. There's the crawl space, there's ways of losing energy there, all the way up to the insulation in the attic. Talk about that.
That's right, yeah. Insulation is another real big one. If the furnace is running nonstop, there's a good chance the house is not holding on to heat very well. So instead of buying a new furnace, let's take a look at the insulation. The Department of Energy guidelines recommend up to 22 inches of blown-in insulation in your attic. And most houses I'm in have 4 to maybe 6 inches, not even close. And out of the thousands of homes I've been in, I rarely see one that's been insulated correctly. Has to have an air seal in it, has to be insulated correctly. So we're going to test the house from top to bottom. We use thermal cameras, blower doors, smoke pencils, just like a doctor for your home.
Wow.
So we can diagnose it correctly and then treat it.
So that tells me you can save a lot of money for people. Can you?
Everything we do saves money. That's the best part. Great rate of return on every single thing that we can do to upgrade the energy efficiency of your home.
Okay, we've got old homes, we've got new homes. Which is worse?
Believe it or not, new homes. Most new homes are built to code, and code means minimum allowed by law. Guess what the builder's going to give you?
The bare minimum.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So Department of Energy are the guidelines we followed. We're a certified building analyst company, and first and foremost, we're a contractor. So we're going to come in and we're going to put in your house what it should have had from the beginning.
Busy time of year for you.
It really is, yeah. As soon as it gets cold, people do not want to be cold.
Right. So if you have any questions about your house and if it's not working, call Dr. Energy Saver VA. And what are you going to do?
Well, we're going to set an appointment with you to come out and give you a free initial consultation with one of our doctors. We'll talk about the symptoms that you're having. We'll do an investigation and a physical on the house, and we'll go from there and make some recommendations on what we can do.
And what you're going to do is you're also going to give them this book right here.
That's right. For the first 25 people that call and set an appointment with us, until the supplies run out, we'll bring out one of these books with us. And we wrote the book on saving energy in your home, so we want to give that to you as well.
All right, and if you mention seeing us, him here on the Hampton Road Show, he's going to give you a complimentary energy consultation. You can learn more at Dr. Energy Saver VA or call 757-969-6000 or go to the website www.drenergysaverva.com. We really appreciate Kevin, and keep up the good work and happy holidays.
Great. You too. Thanks.
All right, we're in the buzz talking about our hot topics this morning, getting a lot of feedback for starting and asking people, you know, for the holiday time, a lot of people are giving back. What are some of your favorite charities out there? Of course, you know, we're going to talk to Carrie in just a little bit. She's out at the Ted Constant Center and taking your non-perishable food items. We're going to be out there until 8 o'clock tonight, so make sure you come out, say hi to us. Let's see, on Facebook, Marsha Keeling Whitehair, she says, I am involved in the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. She says it's important to me because she has lost 3 family members and a friend to it. She says, I also appreciate and like to help the food bank as they help so many others, which is so true to think about those people who are going without this holiday season and probably and all year round for that matter. Amanda Rapicon says St. Jude's and any children's hospital charities. She says, I always try to give when I can. I usually donate a portion of our tax returns every year. And like Chris and I were talking about, for those of you that maybe can't give a monetary donation, perhaps you can just give your time and volunteer. That is also just as good. All right, we're going to talk with the host from Fear Factor also later on in the show. So we wanted to know, if you were a contestant on Fear Factor, what would be a deal breaker for you? Some may not like heights or jumping out of a helicopter. Me, can't do the bugs. So we wanted to know, what was it for you out there? Getting a lot of feedback on this. Let's see. Louisa Coleman, she says she's a little sorry to admit it, but she would never be a contestant. Louisa, I hear you on that one. Amy McDaniel says a deal breaker for me would be spiders, snakes, and eating some rotten food or a part of an animal. Ugh. Mia Marty says shaving my hair would be a deal breaker. However, if eating bugs came first or laying in them, that would do it for me. She says, I don't do bugs. I've a hard enough time camping. I remember when the first show aired and how her stomach turned watching those people eat bugs. She says they couldn't just swallow it whole. Listen to this. They had to crunch it in their mouth. Yuck. An episode with bowling and African beetles is still in her mind. She says, ew. And Fear Factor has been off for the last 5 years, so now they're coming back. And we're going to talk with the hosts later on in the show. So keep sending us your comments. You can follow us on Twitter at hr_show or send us your comments on Facebook, and we'll try to read those and get to those for you. All right, coming up on the Hampton Road Show, hearing your child may have Asperger's syndrome may be a difficult thing for you. We're going to talk to a mom who talks about how the Chesapeake Bay Academy's resource program has helped her. Also, in this morning's I Am Hampton Roads, we're going to meet a 911 dispatcher who's dedicated the last 32 years of her life helping people in time of crisis. Well, now she's hanging up her hat and looking forward to the next chapter in her life. That's coming up a little bit later on. And also, don't forget about our pop quiz. You could win a $25 Pizza Hut gift card. Just log on to thehamptonroadshow.com and click on that pop quiz button on the top right-hand corner of the screen. Good luck. Welcome back. Our live audience today is from Santa's Elves Extravaganza, a holiday craft fair that's taking place this weekend in Virginia Beach. Here now to tell us more about it is organizer Linda Curtis. Linda, good morning, and thank you for being here on the Hampton Road Show.
Yes, thank you. I'm glad to be here. Yes, we'd like to invite everyone out this weekend to Pembroke Mall to our second annual craft show of Santa's Elves Extravaganza. Santa's Elves is going to be hosting some of the best talent locally in Hampton Roads, and also some from Northern Virginia, Western Virginia, the Eastern Shore, North Carolina, all over. We have over 70 vendors that are coming out to the show, and there's sure to be something for every taste and budget there.
And you brought some of the crafts that people can see when they go out. Talk about this in front, and also some behind you too. We can mention.
Yes, Tracy and her husband built these birds out of PVC.
Tell me about these, Tracy.
Well, they're made out of 4-inch PVC pipe, and you keep them outside all year round. And they're great Christmas presents for everybody, yourself included.
I like the ties on that. And also behind us, what do we have here?
Yes, excuse me, we have some of the metal artwork by Dan Cooper over on the end. He does all that for the different Marines, Air Force, all the different services.
Jewelry too
for
the ladies.
Pins, the handmade pins. He actually carves those out of wooden blocks.
Wow.
Out of different woods. Is really beautiful, and his wife's jewelry there. We also have Ling with her hats.
Look at that. I love that. I have a feeling that that's going to be a hit when people are walking around with those. How was last year, and what do you hope to have different for this year?
Last year it was very good show. We had a really good showing. Pembroke Mall was pleased with all the people that came out, and we hope to do even better this year. We have different crafters, a lot of different crafters this year than last, and there should be something for everybody on your budget. Also, there's going to be Santa's, pictures with Santa.
Okay.
You can bring your pet and have pictures with him. There's going to have caricatures.
You can bring your pet and have pictures with Santa?
Yes.
All right. You just got tons more people to come out for that one.
And face painting, too, so there's just something for everybody.
And also, it's a holiday time. If people are looking, have that one person on their list, and they want to find something unique, such as this, or a lot of things that you have here, what better place to find it than a place like a
Yes, because we
always
all have that one person that's you can't find anything for, so you're bound to find something here.
You are bound to find something. I totally agree, Linda. Thank you, and thank you all for being here. I love that hat. That is so great. We're going to put the information, the Holiday Craft Show, Saturday, December 10th, 10 a.m. to 9 p.m., and Sunday, December 11th, from noon to 6. For more information, you can call 685-0414. We're going to have all of this information on our website, thehamptonroadshow.com. Linda, thank you, and happy holidays.
Thank you.
All right, those PVC sculptures were awesome, but you know what? Being hungry is for the birds. That's why we're doing something about it today. Join the Hampton Road Show and the Food Bank of Southeastern Virginia at the Ted Constant Convocation Center. We've got a couple people leading off our donations, people you probably know if you're a men's basketball fan. Stay with us.
And after a 5-year hiatus, NBC's hit reality series Fear Factor is returning to prime time. Up next, host Joe Rogan tells us why this season is like nothing you've ever seen. Welcome back to the Hampton Road Show. We've been talking about gifts this week on the Hampton Road Show, and they always say it's better to give than to receive. The greatest gift you can provide to hungry and vulnerable people is simple. It's food, and today you can help us do just that.
That's right. Carrie Fury is at the Constant Center right now at the Hampton Roadshow Holiday Food Drive to tell us more about a small donation that can make a big difference. Hey, Carrie, how's it going?
Hey, we're having a good time. We're ready for what we hope will be a super busy day out here in front of the Ted Constant Convocation Center. The Food Bank of Southeastern Virginia has brought their truck here, and we want the folks of Hampton Roads to come out and donate food to help the hungry in Hampton Road. And you know what I want to see? You know what I want, Ariane? I want a stack of food that is 7 feet tall. How would we ever measure that? I don't know. Maybe Anton Larson can hang out and stand with us. He joins us now along with Nick Wright. Of course, you know them well if you're fans of ODU's men's basketball team. A couple of players here with us, and you guys are actually the first to bring some food out. So the first thing I want to say is thank you so much. Why did you want to support our drive today?
It's a holiday season, so I feel like it's the right season to come out and help people that is having the same things and I have in life. So I'm here to help.
We can officially say we're getting international support from our effort today. Anton, of course, is from Denmark, but Nick, you're from right here in Suffolk. So what does it mean to you to help the community where you go to school and live?
The feeling of giving, a lot of people around want to know, like, what does it feel like to be at the spot you're in where you want to see, come here and give, and you can get that same feeling of playing basketball and being an idol in the community.
All right. Well, thank you so much. The folks from the food bank will take your donations. Look, if you come out and give some food, we're also going to give you a discount for the ticket to the concert tonight. Amy Grant and Vince Gill are performing tonight at 8 o'clock at the Constant Convocation Center. We'll give you a discounted ticket if you donate to the food bank. The folks from the food bank are here with us today. See this handsome face? Look at that. Tracy Page. He's here. He's right over there. Look at him. Look at him. Come out here and meet Tracy Page. If you are a business and you would like some free advertising, and you know if you're a business you want some free advertising, come out and make a donation to the food bank. And it can be food. It can be cash too, right, Debbie? All right, make a cash or food donation. We will pose with you for a picture, and we'll post it on Facebook. So all of our Hampton Roadshow fans will find out what you do in the community. If you're willing to help, we can make a deal. All right, we'll have more from out here at the Convocation Center throughout the day. And Ariane and Chris, I know you guys are coming out too.
That's right. I'm going to be out there on 4:30 this afternoon. Chris, when are you going to be out there?
1 to 4 o'clock.
All right. Like Carrie said, we're going to be out there until 8 o'clock this evening. So please, please, please drop by with a donation for the food bank. It's a great cause. And get a $3 discount on your tickets to see Amy Grant and Vince Gill's 12 Days of Christmas concert.
After a 5-year hiatus, TV's toughest reality competition series is back, returning to NBC. We're talking about NBC's Fear Factor. And joining us now from Los Angeles to tell us more about the new season is Fear Factor host Joe Rogan. Joe, 5 years, it seems like only yesterday you guys were scaring and grossing out audiences across the country. Why the return?
Well, it feels like a long time to me. It doesn't feel like only yesterday. Well, what happened was they were airing reruns on the Chiller Network, and the reruns were getting really good ratings, and someone just decided to bring it back. And so here we are.
And here we are with bigger stunts and grosser things to eat. Tell me a little bit about this season.
Well, it's definitely bigger, more explosions, more helicopters, grander stunts. We have greater stunt technology now. Stunt technology has advanced. So there's things that we could do today that we never could do safely in the past. And then on top of that, they really wanted to take the show up another notch. So all the stunts are bigger, crazier, more involved, more disgusting. And now, of course, in high-definition television, which we didn't have back in the day, the old days of when TV was made out of wood.
Hey, Joe, right behind you, we're seeing scenes of somebody being dropped out of a helicopter trying to land them onto a pad. How is that safe?
How is that safe? That's a good question. Well, the pad is made out of cardboard boxes, so when you hit it, it's not like a heavy impact. It's more like it breaks off and looks ridiculous. So it's not as safe as like taking a nap, but it's safer than racing a motorcycle.
Okay, so you've got people all around the country lining up to do this. Would you do it yourself?
Yeah. If I was broke, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Okay. And if I just wanted to do something fun.
Okay, would it be fun eating something disgusting, or would it be fun being dropped out of a helicopter? Which would you choose?
Oh, definitely get dropped out of a helicopter. The dropped out of the helicopter means you're in a lake. You know, you're going to hit the cardboard boxes and bounce off, and then you're in water. It's really not that big of a deal. The disgusting stuff that they had to eat, there was a lot of times where I don't think I could have ever done what they did. You know, there's some people that just can put away some food. And the good thing about this Fear Factor is that now people know what the show's about. When we were first filming it in 2001, people had no idea. And on top of that, people hadn't really accepted reality television yet. And it was just like, what is this disgusting show? Now that we've seen like the Kardashians and seen things that are like really disgusting, Fear Factor's not as gross.
Yeah, those Kardashians are disgusting. All right, hey, our director, Andy, wants to know if you're doing...
The way you said that, man, the venom in your voice.
No, actually, they're not. They're wonderful to look at. But,
I know. I'm just joking. They're great to look at.
That's true. Hey,
if only they could get them to stop talking.
Hey, Joe, our director, Andy, wants to know if you're going to have a UFC version of Fear Factor.
Andy, funny you ask. If there is a second season, that is definitely something that NBC is interested in, as well as the UFC. So that's very possible for season 2.
Okay, we can only hope that there will be a Kardashian version of Fear Factor. All right, Joe.
We can only hope. If their careers are that far down that they have to come on Celebrity Fear Factor, then we'll know that the end is near.
The end is near. Hey, we're looking forward to Fear Factor. Joe Rogan, thanks for joining us today, and have a great holiday.
Thank you, sir. You too.
All right, I think if we can get a Kardashian thrown out of a helicopter, we got big ratings for Fear
Oh, man,
Factor.
Chris, you're funny.
All right, Fear Factor returns Monday night at 8, right here on WAVY TV 10.
All right, coming up on this morning's I Am Hampton Roads, meet Gail Kearns, a 911 dispatcher whose service to others is being recognized in a big way. Now on the Hampton Road Show with a guest you may remember, Helen Elder, a mother of a Chesapeake Bay Academy student with an Asperger's diagnosis. She found a terrific resource with CBA's Diagnostic Assessment Program, and she is back today to tell us more about some strategies and interventions that she learned through the program. Helen, welcome back to the Hampton Road Show.
Oh, thank you.
So tell me, first off, how did the program help you out so much?
I had seen that even though we had some support in place for my son in the public school, that there were some learning difficulties, and I think sometimes because kids with Asperger's are so verbal and so knowledgeable about so many things that sometimes when they have a learning difficulty, it can go undetected. And they confirmed some weaknesses, and we've been able to focus on those and really get them up to speed.
For those out there who perhaps probably have heard of Asperger's syndrome, explain what it is and what are some of the signs for maybe even parents out there who recognize that in their own kids.
Right. There actually are a lot of, I went into that a lot on the blog at the school website, and it's a really complex neurodevelopmental disability, and it's easy to learn about it. The books that talk about it are about this thick, and it's fairly complicated. You definitely want either a psychiatrist or a qualified psychologist to diagnose them. And but it's not uncommon to have parents recognize all the symptoms, and so usually a diagnosis is done by talking to the parent and getting that social history. The undeveloped social cues is a real key. They tend to be about 2/3 behind in terms of their peers, and so I think the biggest thing is once you've got that diagnosis to figure out, maintain your stress level and not get too worried about it, and realize that it's just a different parenting journey. And so to get the support in place for your child, do they need occupational therapy? Do they need speech? And those are the two big reasons to get a diagnosis. Other than that, just work to figure out where their weaknesses are and strengthen them up. You really need to teach them things verbally. And so we use humor with my son, making it fun, but being careful to make sure that we're accurate, because he will grab onto facts and say, no, but you told me this. Well, I was just joking.
You're like, no.
So I've known a lot of people who've gotten into trouble with that, where the little boy will say, well, if you'll pay me, I'll do that chore. And the teacher joked and said, sure, I'll pay you. And then he was like, where's that money? So, you know, just getting that support in place.
And
But-
also, I know some of the tips on here, preparing a calm environment is probably very key in the
Yes.
home.
Yes.
Explain that. What do you do for your son?
Well, we had to figure out his strengths. I have friends that have had sort of a sensory room where they just have a quiet place. And I sort of watched him to see what he did to calm down. And he would line up quarters in a circle. And he didn't do this until he started a full day of school. And he just seemed to need to have order somewhere.
Okay.
And so for him, it's drawing. And if he gets very stressed, we'll have him draw a picture, and they're very elaborate. And reading also works. And with Chesapeake Bay Academy, they've been able to get him to do deep breathing, and so that helps a lot. But it was something that I was never successful in getting him to do.
So it's definitely been a big resource for you and for your family. Your
Right.
son, you said, was diagnosed when he was 6, and he's now 11.
Right.
What advice would you have out there to parents who are maybe just coming into realizing that their children suffer from Asperger's syndrome?
To find people who know more than you do, and that's sometimes a challenge, but once you find them, I know that for us, we use the Joy of Acting class in Yorktown, and we live in Chesapeake, so we would drive to Yorktown every Saturday because Charlene, who runs that program, is so knowledgeable. And finding pediatricians and psychiatrists and psychologists, and I will go to conferences. There are a lot of local conferences now, so the military does some, and the Independence Center does some. We do some clinics and stuff at Chesapeake Bay Academy. So just, they're doing a bullying series in January, things like that. But just to find those experts.
Like they say, knowledge is power. Definitely, Helen, thanks for coming on and,
Yeah,
of course,
thank
sharing your
you.
story, helping somebody out there. Also, CBA Cafe is an event coming up on January 11, 2012. It's a bullying series, as you mentioned. You can always go to CBA Cafe at cba-va.org, or you can give them a call, 497-6200. For more information, you can also check out their academic blog, School of Thought, or give them a call. Visit them online. That's Chesapeake Bay Academy, or www.cba-va.org, or give them a call, 497-6200. Helen, thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, we are back in the buzz this morning, and we are buzzing about a couple of neat topics. One, of course, is giving back and charities this time of year. And in case you didn't know, we are out at the Ted Constance Center all day long today until 8 o'clock tonight. We are taking canned food donations for the Food Bank of Southeastern Roads. So come on out and say hey, bring us some non-perishable food items and give back to a good cause. We're asking you what you would give to this time of year. What is your favorite charity? And I was able to pull up, how about this, the tax return for the Obamas. And last year, the Obamas gave over $245,000. So how about that? They gave it to many different charities such as the American Red Cross, Bookworms, American Salvation. So what would you give back to? How about this? Marcia Keeling Whitehair says, I'm involved in the American Cancer Society's Relay for Life. It's important to me because I've lost 3 family members and a friend to it. I also appreciate and like to help the food bank as they help so many others, and we're hoping that maybe Marcia and her friends can bring some food today, and if you do, please stop by and say hi. We're also, we got to have a neat little chat this morning on Fear Factor. It's returning on Monday, and we are asking you what scares you. What is a deal breaker? Is it the stunts? Is it being dropped from a helicopter, or is it eating the gross stuff? Well, Amanda Galen says, not enough money for me to do any of that, and I already jumped out of a plane. No bugs, no disgusting stuff to eat, no being buried in stuff. Can't believe that show is coming back. Kind of curious what new tortures they have to come through. So Amanda says she'll be watching. How about Mike B. says, getting out of bed scares him. So I hear you, Mike. Sometimes life can be scary just as it is. So that's it. Thanks for joining us this morning, and we appreciate your comments, and we'll share a few more with you as time goes on.
All right, well, it takes a special kind of person to do what the woman that you're about to meet does. Gail Kearns has been a 911 dispatcher with the city of Virginia Beach for more than 30 years, and you can believe she has heard it all. But in the end, Gail says she wouldn't trade it for the world, and that's why her dedication and service to the community makes her this morning's I Am Hampton Road.
The emergency. My name is Gail Kearns, and I'm a 911 telecommunicator with the city of Virginia Beach. My first day here was it was pretty intense. It was, it wasn't, I was scared, I was nervous, but my trainer was really good, and she told me, she says, I want you to listen to me, and I will type and talk. So the next day, she typed, I talked, the third day, I was doing it all. So by then, I'm thinking, well, it's going to be pretty easy. I think. But then, you know, there was days I went home and cried because I was talking to people that I felt like, you know, I just wanted to put my arms around them and hug them, you know, because they were just, they needed somebody to talk to. Sometimes they just, you know, they had an emergency, but sometimes they just needed somebody to talk to. And what is your last name, ma'am? I say I'm tender-hearted because I don't like to see people hurt. I don't like to see animals hurt, you know. And, you know, and when you take a call from somebody who says, oh, my grandmother is on the floor and she's not breathing, and you know, and you get a call like that and you think, oh, you know, I have grandmothers too, what would I do in a situation like this? It's just very hard. But then you think, well, you know, I was there. If there was any way that I helped at all, I was on the phone with them. I told them what to do. I did my part, and I'm hoping that everything works out well for them. Every day, I mean, I take anywhere from 25 to 50 calls a day, depending on the, you know, if it's busy. And after 32 years, that's a lot. Where do you need a police officer at? I think the worst call for me was, we were in our old building, and it was early hours of the morning, and I received a call from a frantic lady who said, you know, my baby's not breathing. He was a year old, and they were trying to do CPR, and it was just so sad because of the situation. She was explaining to me that this was their miracle child, and that, you know, they had tried for so long to have a baby, and God had blessed them with a baby. And rescue got there, and of course the baby was pronounced dead. And we later found out that it had aspirated in the middle of the night and had choked, and you know, the parents just, but that was one of the mornings that I had to go down the hall and cry, you know, because it's just one of those things where you just don't know, you know, you try to do whatever you can do to help, but one of those, you know, I was giving them CPR instructions, and she was saying that it's not helping, you know, and it's a very sad situation when you have something like that, knowing that you've waited so long to have a child, and then one morning you wake up and they're not there anymore. You have to be able to listen to people and to hear what they're saying, and, you know, have some empathy and some sympathy towards them, you know, and don't just, you know, you have to understand the situation that they're in. Although you're not there with them, you listen to what they're saying, and you tell them, you know, I'm going to get you some help, or somebody's going to come and help you. And if, you know, if there's anything else, you know, that you need, let us know. Do you need an ambulance? You know, do you need a fire truck? These people that I work with here are fabulous. I mean, we're all a big 911 family. We're all very close. We do things for one another, you know. We just, it's just like, you know, and I'm going to miss them terribly, you know. And a lot of the younger girls call me Mama Gail. Everybody here is just, they're fabulous. They're just, you know, they're here for everybody, and we all, if we have a situation working here, you know, everybody pulls together. We all do it as a team, you know, because that's what we're here for. You know, we're here to help. We're here to help the citizens. We're here to help each other. I'll take a lot of memories with me, you know, and a lot of camaraderie, a lot of love. I've had some crises in my life, and everyone's been here for me. You know, it's just been, they've helped me out a lot, you know, and I've pulled through them, and with the help of my 911 family and my family and friends, it's been a great ride, you know, and I'm going to miss it, but I was very, very happy to be a part of it. Hey, you're in the front of the building, correct? Okay, they'll be there shortly. Thank you. Bye-bye. My name is Gail Kearns, and I am Hampton Roads.
What a sweet lady. Gail's hanging up her headset. She is retiring after 32 years with the 911 Dispatch Center of Virginia Beach in April. She was also the recipient of the 911 Heroes Award, where she, along with, I think it was 4 other 911 dispatchers, were recognized for their service in times of a tough call, how they handled the situation. They were recognized, and she got a medal and everything all about that. So
she's one of those heroes that are unsung and unseen, and I know she's helped so many people in 32 years.
Yes.
Way to go, Gail.
Had to thank her for her service.
Tell from the interview she really cares, so that's good.
Absolutely.
All right, so today, those of us who care about gift certificate to Pizza Hut, I believe?
Pizza, yeah.
That's right.
Take a look at the pop quiz, and here are the clues. The first one, 300 in quotation marks. Higher learning, established in 1935 in a local city in the name. So that 300 is from a movie. Might help you out a little bit. Any ideas?
Oh, from the movie 300?
Yeah, what do they call it? Yeah.
I'm going to guess Christopher Newport.
No, it's the Spartans, so Norfolk State.
Oh,
The Spartans.
Wrong side of the water.
Yeah, wrong side of the water. But we're on the right track, so that's good. Yeah, Norfolk State University Spartans. Or I'll take the Spartans. That's fine. Both answers are correct.
Very good.
I think you do these tough little clues, Jeremy.
A little teaser.
You know, I don't know that I'm liking that so much.
You gotta, try and make it interesting.
He's gotten me
not too easy, not too hard.
Chris can't get it. It's way too hard.
It's all right. We'll get some easier ones coming down the pipe.
All right. Stay with us. We'll be back in just a few moments.
All right, what a day today. Fun day out at the Ted Constance Center.
Yeah.
Before we go, we want to check in with Carrie Fury, who's out there taking donations. Carrie?
That's right. She's at the Ted Constance Center in Norfolk this morning, working with our friends from the Food Bank on the Hampton Roads Show Holiday Food Drive. Hey, Carrie, how's it going out there? She's also out there with T. Page.
Hey, yeah, Tracy Page is hanging out in the back of the Food Bank of Southeastern Virginia truck with me, sorting the donations that we have so far. And can't thank the men's basketball team enough here at ODU. They were the first ones to show up with food, and we hope that they will be the first of many throughout the day. Debbie Murgy is here from the Food Bank of Southeast Virginia, smart enough to wear your gloves.
Share with you.
So the guys brought some tuna, and I know this is a great item to bring. What other things do you want folks to bring?
Well, non-perishable food items would be great. We would love to have chunky soups, pastas, meats, canned meats, juices, fruits, anything that you could build a nutritious meal around, just so that it's non-perishable today, even though it's so cold out here.
And I remember a while ago you were asking for peanut butter. Do you still need that?
Peanut butter always.
All the
It's a
time.
great staple.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to have a great day. I know Ariane and Chris, you're going to come out here too. And this is all leading up to a big concert tonight from Vince Gill and Amy Grant. They are going to be performing, and we'll give you a discount on the ticket if you want to come out and bring a donation to the food bank. And if folks are just walking by spur of the moment and don't happen to have food on them, they can give a monetary donation. Believe me, the food bank knows how to stretch a dollar, so make a monetary donation as well. Big Blue will be coming out here later on today. Ariane and Chris will be out here. Tracy Page is going to be out here today, and I'll be back out here through the lunch hour. So come on out and say hi if you're a small business and you'd like some free advertising. We're going to do it for you today. Make a donation to the food bank. We'll take a photo. We'll put it on our Facebook page so the Hampton Roadshow community can get a look at what you do out there in the community. It's a pretty good deal all the way around.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. All right, we're going to send it back to you guys now.
All right, great job out there, Carrie. Like she said, we'll be out there until 8 o'clock this evening. Drop by with a donation for the food bank. Get a $3 discount on your tickets to see Amy Grant and Vince Gill's 12 Days of Christmas concert. That is tonight.
That's right, and what a deal for the businesses if you come by and drop stuff by. We're going to take a photo with us.
Put you
it
on
our
Facebook.
Facebook page, so that's a good deal for that.
All right.
Good show all around.
Yeah, that was fun. Hey, thanks for everybody for buzzing in this morning, and thanks to our live audience.
Oh, yes, our live audience, the craft fair. Make sure you go check it out this weekend in Virginia Beach. We'll have all the information on our website, Chesapeake Bay Academy, and also I wish I had some bugs for you guys to eat.
That's okay. I'm sure we'll get to that sooner or later.
Well, you will.
It's coming, Fear Factor, Hampton Road style. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow. Live Music Friday.